Welcome back, everybody, to Unconditional Surrender, the Me, Myself, and I playthrough the main event scenario. The game is published by GMT Games, designed by Salvatore Vasta. We are getting ready to go into the October 1944 turn, as you can see. And I'm going to go get my timer started. There we go. We will actually have a weather phase in October. The western zone, or the warm zone, I'm going to have to roll at a +1. But the others will be whatever the die gives us. So, in the cold zone, we roll a 4. In October and November, a 4 is poor. And in the mild zone, we roll a 6. And that is severe. And in the warm zone, we have to add 1 to the die roll because we had fair in June there. That's the optional weather rules that we're trying out for Sal here, which I'm coming to like very much. So 5 plus 1 is a 6, so even in the warm zone, it's severe. And this can be taken away. So, 2 severes and a poor. Declare war phase. Don't see any declarations of war this turn. Economy phase. Oops, not that one. Bring up the national tracks here. Germany's down to 34. She's lost 3 factories by capture and has a factory loss count of 2. So that's 12 minus 2 is 10 plus her 7 economic reform factories gives her 17, so she has 34. She's not giving any to her allies. British are still at 36, and the Russians are up to 54. So, and that's economy. Next up is strategic warfare. Against the Russians, it is 0-2 plus 2 for the Russians. And amazingly enough, the Russians don't. There's no Germans in Russian home territory unless you count the Finns. So I'm going to go ahead and use my partisans to try and make sure I get a factory off the Germans. So the Germans will be halved here. So the German die roll is a 4, halved to a 2. And the Russian die roll, the Germans, by the way, don't have anything. Their submarines aren't back yet. So, and then the Russians roll a 4 plus 2 is a 6. A 2 to a 6 is most definitely Germany takes another factory loss marker. Goes up by 1. And since the Russians won that, theirs goes down by 1. So, things are not looking good for the Axis powers here. And then we have to roll for the partisan. See when it comes back. 6, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It'll be back in April of 1945. Then we go over to the West, and the West is +2 because the Americans are in the war. And then they have a couple bond markers over here somewhere. Yes, they have 2 bond markers, so they're plus. Right, there's no other. Trying to make sure I didn't forget any bond markers here. Nope, just the 2. Okay, so they're +2 for the bond markers. I'm going to take them off right away so I don't forget. And they do have an ultra, and it is severe. But I'm thinking I might need that ultra to get through whenever I get poor weather. Give me an extra +1 here or there. So I think we're going to just take the die roll. No, we want to make sure the Germans are definitely crunched. So we're going to go ahead and play the ultra for the British, Western allies as well. So the Germans are halved again. 4 becomes a 2, and British roll. 6 plus 4 is a 10. That's definitely another factory loss up for the Germans. So they're down to factory loss of 4. And the British can't go any lower because they're already at 1. And then we roll for the Ultra. 5 turns. Where's the turn track? There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Comes back in March. So the Russian one's coming back in April. Ultra comes back in March. So things will be available if I need them for next summer to try and finish the Germans off. Severe weather is going to make it very hard for anybody to really do much of anything here. Best we're going to get is retreat results in almost every case. So strategic warfare, now strategic movement. Germans don't have a lot of that. Trying to see if there's someplace I can put a strategic movement to good use here. I don't really. I suppose I could put him there. I could put a garrison like at 2935. But I don't think that does me much. Again, like I said, the best we're going to get is a retreat result around here. So I don't see much use for. I really don't see a strategic movement. Somebody will have to peruse the map and tell me where I missed a good strategic movement here, because I just don't see one. Really don't. So we're going to forego strategic move for the Axis. The West is kind of in the same quandary. There's not really a good strategic move. The guys are all off the rails, so to speak. I suppose I could pull out of Munich if I wanted to, but that kind of defeats the purpose of what I'm trying to do. It does, and I don't have anybody that can really go and fill in the space behind Munich. So, yeah, I think I'm done with the Western. And then the Soviets. Don't really have one for the Soviets either for the same reason. Everything's pretty much up on the line where it belongs. So, okay, Axis operations phase. Well, since it's severe in the temperate, which is where everything is, we're all on the wrong side of that little blue dotted line. All the Germans are in temperate. I don't think we even have anything in the warm zone. Nope. We don't even have anything in the warm zone. So everything's under severe conditions, which means the airplanes won't fly. No reason for them to, from the German standpoint. Well, let's see how we fare here. Let's activate the 17th. We'll go there. And where's my national tracks? I'll put them over here in the corner, so to speak, so I can take off a point there. And then we're going to also activate the Africa Army for 2 more. And then we're going to assault the 5th Army here. Because both sides are halved, it's like all I can do is get a retreat, which would cause them to at least be at half strength, so maybe I can take comfort in that. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4 for the unit, 5, 6 for the hex. So yeah, everything's got to be assault. So I guess the question is do I want to use my heavy artillery here? Since tanks don't help, if I use heavy artillery here, let's see. Right now the Germans would be +2 because they're German, +1 for a buddy. And the Americans are at +1 because they're American. There's no armor involved. I could throw in the tanks, but I wouldn't force him to retreat because I didn't give him a retreat route. So maybe if I want to take back Munich, maybe I do it this way. We're going to go 1, 2 instead of 1, 2 across the river. And that's 3 for the river, 4, 5 for the unit in the poor weather, 6, 7 for the hex of Munich. It still gives me the same plus because I'm using the Africa Army as the primary. And then I'm going to throw in my the Allies have nothing they can play. I'm going to go ahead and throw my heavy artillery here to try and recapture Munich here in southern Germany. So that gives me an extra +2. So I'm +5 to +1. We are halved, but hopefully I can get high enough number that I'll at least force him to retreat. So let's see what we get. Germans roll. 3 + 5 is an 8, halved to a 4. And the Americans roll. A 3 + 1 is a 4, halved to 2. And a 4 to 2 on the combat results table is a DR. So the Americans have to retreat. I made sure I gave him a retreat route so that he would have to leave. That will let me take the hex, I think, with the German infantry. And that will do 2 things for the Germans. It will give them back 2 national will, 1, 2, so they're up to 31. And they also get one of the captured factories comes back up. So, and unfortunately now I have to roll for my heavy artillery. It's just coming back in 5 turns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Been a long time. Okay. Well, that was a minor success. Thank God for severe weather where the airplanes don't matter. 3 + 1 would be 4, -1 would be a 3, so really wouldn't matter. But I could do maybe a step loss to the British up there. Trying to recapture my cities here, I think. Gives me some willpower, gives me some factories for the winter turn, maybe. Doesn't really matter if it's a real infantry or if it's a garrison, so I think I'm going to go 1. Actually, I should say 1 in rail. And then 2, and then 3, 4 for the unit, 5, 6 for the hex. So it's another one. So I started at, so I spent 3, and that's 4. Then I've got 5, 6, 7. Yes. So another one to activate the first para. And do I even want to bother with the armored unit? Let's see, right now I'm +3 because the para is elite in German, so that's 3. +1 for the garrison is 4. -1 is +3. And this would be 1, 2, 3, 4. -2 would be +2 to +1. Not likely to get anywhere. So I'll go ahead and throw the Panzer in over here too. Doesn't give me +2, but it does give me a an extra +1. So I am start off at +1 because I'm elite, +2 because I'm German, +1 for a buddy, +1 for a buddy. And then -1 for the city. And then we're halved. And he's at 1 for the same reason he was before. So, +1 because he's American, that's all he gets. So +4 to +1. I don't have anything I can play that matters. So, yeah, +4 to +1. 4 + 4 is an 8, halved to a 4. And the Americans roll 2 + 1 is a 3, halved to 2.5, or 1.5, runs up to a 2, which means he has to retreat. He only has one legal retreat route. And we will take it with the garrison unit for now. Makes my lines look a little better. And again, I get 2 national will, and I get one of my captured factories back. So I'm not likely to get Mets back. That's just too hard to get. But I did okay. I got 2 of my factories back. I got 4 will points back. And that means they've all got to take that stuff away from me again. And I've spent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Spent 7. And I started at 34. 34. And so I'm at 27, not 37. They can't go up. That's dumb. Okay. So that's the big attacks in the west. I really don't know what to do here in the east. I kind of need to try and stop this madness. Let's see, this guy can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the unit. There's no trade. 8 or 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we would have 1, 2. Be +2 to a +1. I could make it a +3 to it. It would be +2, +3, +4 to +1. And then this guy would be 1, 2, 3, 2 to +1. And then I'm leaving myself open up here. Dilemmas. Well, let's see how this goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for the unit, 8 for the hex. And then I'm going to activate this infantry and this infantry. So that's 1, 2. This guy's the primary, the first. So he's +2. And then he gets +1 for each of his buddies, and there's no terrain. And the Russians are +1 because they're elite. They're not isolated, but they can't retreat. So it's +4 to +1, and we're halved. And that was 3 more points I had to take off, so I should be down to 24. Yep. Let's go ahead and see how this works out. +4 to +1. Germans roll. Oh, 5 + 4 is a 9. Halved to 4.5 rounds up to a 5. And the Russians roll. A 1 + 1 is a 2, halves down to a 1. 5 to a 1 is a DR, so this thing is flipped. So, knowing that, I think I'm going to commit the 5th Panzer. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. An attack there. He's only +2. But now the Russians are -1. So -2 +1 because they're elite. So it's +2 to -1. The Germans roll a 1. +2 is a 3. Halve to 1.5 rounds up to a 2. No matter what the Russians roll, I can't touch him. 5 - 1 is a 4. Halves down to a 2. So he lives. And that's also going to make me have to do this. So I bring up my... It's 2 for the armor and 1 for the next infantry to move. He's got to go 1, 2. Kind of plug up the hole. I think I have to back up a space at least. So, or do I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just double checking. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yep. Okay. I'm at the right count. There's a couple of other ancillary type movements I need to do for defense purposes. So I'm going to do that now. Should we take the Vienna guy? So that's 1. And he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That keeps the 8th Army from moving up to attack the Africa Army or anything, any silliness like that. That just cuts that stuff off. Force them to attack at very horrible odds. And then I needed to do more in the east here, I think. Unfortunately, there's no way for me to get him to be in a retreat position. 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6, 7, 8. I could go to 33, 40, 34 with Vassal. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or I could move to 29, 35. I'm just going to back everybody up one space. So why don't I do that? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh. I'm not sure I want to do that. I've got a ton of stuff. With 5 garrisons, an airplane, and 5 infantry as well. No, I have to back up. Really don't have a choice there. Okay, so that's 4 more. Puts me down to 16. I'm going to spend the Hungarian point. He's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7. I could have gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could get to there. Yeah, that's good enough. So that's the Hungarian movement. Boy, Germans. I'm going to build some units behind me, so maybe I should move this infantry to there. And Vassal to here. So that's 2 more. That leaves me with 14. So if I spend 5 to build 5 garrisons, I can bring up 3 airplanes or 3 infantry and 2 airplanes. Which reminds me, since airplanes are not really useful right now, just trying to think if I should use my jets. I think I should use my jets. Oh, did I want to spend this too? No, I think I want to save that. That'll be part of my build plan to regen him. Where does the SS Armored go? Oh, we have to do that, so this has got to be done. Sure, I really want to take myself down that low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I should be at 14. I must have missed someone. 20. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So I should be at 13. Double checking. I think I am at 13. Okay, I'm almost done with the Germans, so I'm going to go ahead and try and finish this up real quick. There's not a lot of movement left. I was thinking of spending 2 to move this SS armored unit. I think I'm pretty good over in the west, so I'm going to move this to the east. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. 8, 9, 10. And that leaves me with 11. And can't really get around me. Trying to make sure I didn't leave any obvious open holes. I don't think so. So I go checking for supply. I'm all on interior lines. I don't have anybody sitting out in space. He can get through 1, 2 for right now. And then out through Warsaw. That won't last much longer. So the 11th, oh, that's who's going to be out of supply. Because there's no way I can get back to a... That's why I needed to take this hex. I really needed to take 2436, where the 3rd Guards Tank Army held. in order to get the 9th into supply, which it is not now, so I have to put a low supply marker on him, which pretty much seals his doom. Oh well. I tried. And that's about all I can do at this point. So yeah, the Germans are done. So that will be the German October 1944 operations phase and beginning of turn stuff. I'm Dren608. If you like my videos, please subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. And we will return in the next video with the Western operations phase. Until then, bye-bye.